Billions of people worldwide find hope and salvation in Jesus Christ, an enigmatic figure whose influence transcends time and culture. You might have learned about his special birth and the important things he taught. But there are also many interesting facts about him that not everyone knows. So, follow me in this video, as here we will explore 10 facts about Jesus people don't know. Number 10. Jesus was not born in 1 AD. Did you know that Jesus wasn't born in the year worst AD like many people think? It's true. Historical evidence suggests he was likely born between 4 and 6 BC, during the time when King Herod ruled. This means Jesus was born several years before the start of what we call the Common Era. The confusion about Jesus' birth date comes from different historical clues, like mentions in ancient texts and when King Herod lived. For example, the story of the wise men visiting Jesus lines up with events that happened around 6 to 4 BC. So, while we celebrate Christmas on December 25th, Jesus was probably born a few years earlier than we thought. Number 9. Jesus' last name wasn't Christ. You might have thought Christ was Jesus' last name, but it's not. It's actually a special title. Christ comes from the Greek word Christos, which means anointed one. So when we say Jesus Christ, we're saying Jesus the Anointed One. This title shows that Jesus is believed to be the special person promised in the Bible, the one who would save people. Understanding this title helps us see how important Jesus is to Christians. It shows that he's not just an ordinary person, but he's seen as the chosen one by God. So next time you hear Jesus Christ, remember it's not just a name, it's a powerful title that tells us about Jesus' special role in the Christian faith. Number 8. Jesus spoke multiple languages. Did you know that Jesus probably spoke more than one language? Yep, even though he mainly talked in Aramaic, he likely understood Hebrew, Greek, and maybe even Latin. Aramaic was what most people spoke back then, but Hebrew was used for religious stuff like reading the Torah. Greek was common in the places Jesus traveled, and Latin was used for official stuff in the Roman Empire. This means Jesus could talk to lots of different people from different places. Speaking multiple languages helped him share his important messages with everyone, no matter where they came from. It shows how Jesus wanted to include everyone in his teachings, making sure everyone could understand his message of love and hope. Number 7. Jesus was baptized by John the Baptist. Even though Jesus was sinless, he was baptized by John the Baptist. Yes, it's true. This special event marked the beginning of Jesus' public ministry. Even though baptism is usually for washing away sins, Jesus did it to show humility and to do what God wanted. When Jesus got baptized, something amazing happened. The heavens opened up, and a voice from above said, "This is my beloved Son, with whom I am well pleased." This showed that God was happy with Jesus and confirmed his special role as the Savior. So, Jesus' baptism wasn't just a bath, but it was a big moment that showed his love for people, his humility, and God's approval of him. Number 6. Jesus was named by an angel. Those who believed Mary named Jesus, let me tell you, he was actually named by an angel. Before Jesus was born, an angel named Gabriel told Mary to name her son Jesus. This name means Yahweh saves, showing that Jesus would bring salvation to people. Even though Jesus was a common name back then, this one was special because God chose it for a specific purpose. Knowing that Jesus' name was chosen by God through an angel makes it even more special. It shows that Jesus' birth wasn't just a normal event, it was part of God's plan to bring hope and salvation to the world. Number 5. Jesus had siblings. Did you know that Jesus had brothers and sisters? Yep, it's true. The Bible mentions their names: James, Joseph, Jude, Simon, and at least 2 unnamed sisters. What's really interesting is that they didn't believe in Jesus at first, which is kinda surprising, right? Christians have different ideas about Jesus' siblings. Some think they were Mary and Joseph's kids born after Jesus. while others believe they could have been cousins or step-siblings. It's a bit of a mystery, but it shows that Jesus had a regular family like many of us. Number 4. Not all apostles were chosen by Jesus. Did you know that Jesus didn't pick all of his apostles himself? While he personally chose 12 of them during his time on earth, when one of them, Judas Iscariot, left, the others had to decide who would take his place. Instead of Jesus choosing, they left it up to chance or God's guidance by casting lots. This led to Matthias becoming the new apostle, making him the only one not directly picked by Jesus. This fact shows us a different side of how things worked in Jesus' time. It's interesting to think about how the early Christians made decisions and how they kept things going after Jesus left. Number 3. Jesus was a carpenter. Before Jesus began his ministry, he spent time working as a carpenter, just like his earthly father, Joseph. Shocking, right? But that's true. The Greek word tekton suggests that Jesus might have worked with wood, stone, or other building materials. This shows that Jesus had a simple and relatable background. This fact makes Jesus feel more real and down to earth. Even though he was the Son of God, he didn't start off with a fancy job or a big title. Instead, he worked with his hands, just like many people do today. Number 2. Jesus used parables to teach. One fascinating aspect of Jesus' teaching style that most people do not know is his frequent use of parables. Parables are simple stories that Jesus used to convey deeper moral or spiritual lessons to his followers. These stories were crafted in a way that made complex teachings easy to understand and remember for his audience, which often included people from diverse backgrounds and levels of education. What's cool about Jesus' stories is that they were easy to understand. He used everyday things like seeds, farmers, and lost sheep to explain big ideas. This made it fun and interesting for everyone to learn from Jesus, no matter who they were. Even today, we can learn from Jesus' stories. They're like hidden treasures full of wisdom and goodness, waiting for us to discover them. Number 1. Jesus' virgin birth prophesied. The prophecy of Jesus' virgin birth is a significant aspect of his story that's often overlooked. In the Old Testament book of Isaiah, specifically in Isaiah 7:14, it's foretold that a virgin will conceive and give birth to a son who will be named Emmanuel. This prophecy is centuries old, yet it perfectly aligns with the circumstances surrounding Jesus' birth. This prophecy shows that Jesus' birth was no accident. It was part of God's big plan all along. It's like a secret clue hidden in the Bible, waiting to be discovered. Knowing this makes Jesus' birth even more special and shows how much God cares about us. These were the hidden 10 facts about Jesus people don't know. As I conclude the video, let's reflect on what we've learned about Jesus throughout this video. I would love to hear your sayings in the comment box. You can also pour your suggestions and guide me more if you have any further info. It's time to sign off till my next video. So, stay tuned and subscribe to the channel to get updated with the latest amazing informational stuff.